Hello everyone, welcome to another company crew video. We got ourselves a little bit of a different one today. It's a solo video, but also a painting, it's not so much a painting video, but more of like, it's in the background. I'm going to be explaining transcendentalism and like Henry David Thoreau and all that kind of stuff. So first we're going to start with a little bit of a brown paint. So, what is transcendentalism, civil disobedience, all that stuff? Well, it's not the worst to understand, but it is a kind of mentality, it's a philosophy even, of self-reliance, not relying on others too much. For Henry David Thoreau, the man in question, believed that people should not be relying on the government for everything, that they should take actions into their own hands. Another thing that is believed is that everyone is equal, and that, I'm not the best at this stuff, It's also my first time painting and talking like this, so, if I mess up, that's all right. However, just know that, we try our best. We all try our best. Some examples of people who, would use transcendentalism would be Martin Luther King or Gandhi. Rosa Parks, too. They did non-violent protests for... They believed that nonviolent actions would speak better and get more done than violent actions would accomplish. For example, like Gandhi in India, when they were looking for... I got a little bit of paint on my brush. When they were looking for salt, he led a mass walk into the deserts, an area to look for salt, and they found it instead of starting riots and killing people, for it's what they believed would get more things done quicker. They use their own self-reliance for that. Let me show the model a bit better. I've been messing that up. Rosa Parks, for example, her bus boycott, where she refused to give up her seat. And then when they didn't allow her to keep sitting there, she boycotted the bus system and stopped using it. Instead of attacking buses, they were nonviolent. The nonviolent process, which is a big portion of the transcendental philosophy of, not being a cog in the machine, but being able to be your own. I'm really doing bad at this painting whole thing. I'm showing you guys the base. I feel bad about that. So, we'll just get a little under the jaw. And I know I'm not doing the best here, of getting everywhere exact and like finishing one spot and I'm kind of jumping around. But, that's just how I do it. So, MLK, he did a lot of non-violent acts. That's what he believed was the best. Let's see, I'm trying to get a good angle for that under jaw. A lot of his protests were walks or sit-ins. He never, threw a punch. He wished to do everything peacefully, non-violent. And, well, we all know where that got him, but we're just going to ignore that. But he still fought for a good cause and what he believed. Now, Henry David Thoreau, I kind of like that guy, I read his essay, Civil Disobedience. And you know what? He lived out in the woods of his friends. Built a little log cabin, only needed what he only had what he needed. And you know what? That guy, he went to jail for not paying the poll tax. He spent a night in prison And you know what? He loved it. He thought it was a very enjoyable experience. And you know what? That's what inspired him to write Civil Disobedience. He made a friend while in a prison, which is nice. I believe the guy was wrongly convicted, according to the man. Don't know if it's true or not, but, interesting. You can make friends anywhere you go. And, let me just bring this up real quick. You're going to say, oh, this don't count. This is a violent thing you're doing because I'm painting a model for a war game. You got me there. I got no argument. I can't not argue that. We're going to ignore that and just keep painting and continue talking. So, Henry David Thoreau, he was a pretty interesting person, He believed in that the best kind of government should be the government that, doesn't govern over too much, doesn't overstep its boundaries, but he still understood the fact that governments were still a useful thing, but that it is highly susceptible to corruption, and that's what he saw and wished to portray to people, to understand, to act more like an individual than to over-rely on the assistance of the government to get things done. Kind of just doing the other side of the face. Just trying to make the critter this guy's riding on trying to look like a boar, So just starting a nice brown base coat on it. So, and you kind of might be wondering, why of all this? Company and Crew does they do a lot of stuff. Why now, of all things, a painting video with a bit of an explanation of civil disobedience intertwined with it? Well, I'll tell you what. You know what? I might not say it. But, I thought it would be interesting. And we needed to be able to fill up some space. So you know what? We got ourselves a nice little painting presentation on top, Look at that. Starting to come along. Of course, this is going to need a couple more coats on it. Don't know how. Let's see if the camera... Lighting's not that good either. Looks much better in person. Trust me. Let me keep painting. Oh, got some on my finger. But you know what? This is going quite swimmingly, I would even say. So, just trying to avoid all the other parts I don't want being this brown color. I gotta avoid the little foot. So yeah, Henry David Thoreau, he was a pretty interesting character. Civil Disobedience, good essay, I must say. I liked it. I thought it was enjoyable. Pretty thought-provoking, Much better than what Machiavelli could have written. Machiavelli's a loser, in my opinion. That guy sucks. But you know what? That was pretty mean to me. Pretty mean of me. Machiavelli did nothing wrong to me. So I guess I owe him a bit of an apology. But you know what? That'll be for later. And you know what? Little tips in life. Even if you mess up, it's okay, as long as you're able to fix your mistakes and learn from them. Like that, see? It's pretty hard to tell from the shade, but I got a little bit of brown on the goblin's foot there. It's okay, I'll be able to fix that. I'm learning from it. Paint a bit more of the hind quarters. So you know what? Probably in the far future, or even the near future. I don't know when Mangarella wants to do more gummy assignments like this. Probably more videos would be coming out. More painting. If y'all want more painting. Get a little bit of a... See, that's a little bit difficult back there. See, shading. I'm gonna flip my brush around. Right in this hind foot, there's a little bit of a gap It's a little bit hard to get, but you know what? We can still attempt it. You know what? It's not looking half bad. Let's get the ankle on that side. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. A little bit of touching up in areas. Hey, look, did I miss any spots? Or like that? It's a big amount of a mess, but you know, that can always be fixed. And we like that, you know. Self-reliance, you know, I'm not asking another person to paint this. Doing it myself. Because you know what? Painting's quite fun. It's quite a good hobby than just watching the news or reading the news and making up assignments for your students. It's quite enjoyable, you know, when you're doing something other than trying to torture your kids. But you know what? That's A-okay. You know what? You do what makes you happy in the world. You know, a little bit of painting here and there. Quite, you know, lightens the mood. And look at that, I missed a bit on the ankle. So yeah, that about settles it. Do a little bit of a recap while I check around for any bits or bobs that could be missing. Yeah, like this piece. I believe this is Skin of the Beast. So, civil disobedience. Pretty much coined, civil disobedience was the essay Henry David Thoreau wrote, while transcendentalism was kind of started by him, but not coined by him. It's then that philosophy of not trying to be over-reliant, but self-sufficient and peaceful. And you know what? There are many people in this world who have taken after him, or have used transcendentalism, like MLK, Gandhi, and Rosa Parks. Nonviolent acts that seek a greater good, a quote-unquote true justice. And Henry David Thoreau, you know, in his... kind of messed that up there. But in his essay, while in jail, brewed up his ideas and wrote it down. He made friends, didn't enjoy the government, he was not a big fan of it. And that is it. Before we wrap up, do a quick little what I got done. A little brown. Maybe fix this up a little here, a little there. Do a little bit of a dry brush. Get into the lips, but that don't matter too much. Do a little bit of a dry brush later. Oops. That's okay. We all make a little mistake. Yeah. It's coming out much better than I anticipated. So there we go. It's a new thing for company and crew. Expect more in the future, or not. Don't know. It's up to Mangarella. All right. Oh. It's a bit of a mess up in the under tummy. We just quick finish that before I wrap up here. Oh, let me bring it down a little so you guys can see. You know what? We'll just cover the strap a little because no one's ever going to see lower. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Yeah, now we're going to wrap up. All right, thank you all for watching. Thank you for sitting through. Enjoy the rest of your day, night, whatever, whenever you're watching. Enjoy.